2000 3500 heavy duty. This is either a 1 ton or a 1.5 ton, not sure what it is, but the air conditioning is what we're going on. I was looking for a leak. It was kind of obvious. Here's the caps. What do you see on the caps? You see the outside of one cap is really wet and one cap was really dry, and this is where it was. Now the cap that was wet was on the high side. The compressor body has a slight oily tinge to it. These cases, when getting older, at the seals of the housing, you see one groove, 2 grooves, 3 grooves. There's case seals there. They were known to leak. But if you didn't have that as your reference and you only jumped to this leak only. Now, when I pulled this off, one big bubble came out. When I put a little bit of nylog right down inside, you could just barely see the bubbles come up. Let me add a little more pressure. Not that much pressure. Hold on here. Let me back the pressure part off. Okay, pressure. Oh, there we go. 88 psi. It just blew off like a pop top. So that valve needs to be replaced. Let me get this back down here. But we're not going to stop right there. Even though we know this is a leak, I'm suspicious of this. Either I'm going to find a leak right now with and of course I can't use my leak detector. Will go off now. So that just blew that. I wanted to do more case leak, so I'm gonna have to run this vehicle. Even though I know this is a leak, how do I know the compressor is still good? How do I know that this customer didn't drive this till the refrigerant level was really low and he tore up the internals of the compressor? Just because you can spin a compressor really easy by hand does not mean the compressor is not bad. So I still need to fill this system up just to check it. I will add UV dye. I will look for the fast, quick, easy leaks. This was a fast, quick, easy. But then I will look for the slower, smaller leaks with both UV and with electronic leak detector. And if I have to go real crazy, I use the ultrasonic leak detector. And if I have suspicious areas, I could put the bubble spray on top of it and just deal right with a little area, because sometimes some leaks just come out in little spurts and then they shut off, and then 2 minutes later it'll leave a spurt and then it shuts off. It's like a little time clock. And then you have ones like this that didn't pop out at a low pressure, but once it hit 88 psi, boom, it just blew and just started coming out. And so you even have that on metal. You could have that where rubber meets metal and it's crimped. You have a shaft seal. You don't know how the shaft seal, once this gets running, you don't know if this shaft seals. And look at that gap. See that gap there? That gap is too much. This clutch needs to be taken in on that gap. It's at the end of its life. It's probably at the very end, just passing its maximum clutch gap clearance, and that'll cause a intermittent hot lack of AC. It starts when the clutch is cold. You go driving down the road, the field coil has 12 volts going through it. It's using amperage. It gets hot. The clutch metal gets hot. It releases, and then when it goes to re-engage, the field of the magnetic force is too weak to bring back into clutch. And then your customer comes back and calls you the next day, hey, you just filled me up. It worked for 20 minutes, and when I was out on the road, it stopped working. But when I shut it off and I went to restart it the next morning, it worked again for about 20 minutes, and then it stopped working. Excessive clutch cap. So that's it on this for right now until I find out some more.